De pinga. De pinga.
And we're live.
We're live.
First of all, man, I want to appreciate you for coming on to the PizzaFac'D podcast.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. It was really an honor to have you. I want to take a moment to appreciate your craft and what you're doing, because nobody gives the producer love like they should. Without the producer, it don't exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, thank you.
100%. So, like, even in the start, man, I want to really dive into you now, man. In the start of this, I want to know what got you into music.
To make it a not so long of a story, I remember when I was a kid, I used to like dream about doing anything on the music business, like doing something. But I didn't know, at that time, I didn't know what I was going to do. So then, you know, at that point of my life, I was like, that's not going to be possible. Like, you know, like I'm in Peru, you know, it's different. My father, he won this lottery of visas. The lottery of visas was kind of like a blessing because I guess it came in at the right moment where my parents took me out of there and they brought me directly to Miami. I moved from Peru to here. I didn't know no English, done nothing. And then I had to, you know, start ESO class. You know, they brought me a year back in middle school so I could, you know, learn the English, you know, the language or whatever. And then during that process, I met Giuseppe. Giuseppe used to go to school. And one time he did like a little getty, like a get together with some friends, and he invited me. And then that's how I met my boy Jason. So my boy Jason is this Haitian guy, one of my good closest friends that I met when I moved here to Canada to Miami. And then I used to like me and him. I don't know how we used to communicate because I didn't know English like that, and he didn't know Spanish. But we would just to figure it out, and we used to communicate. So then the time started passing. I used to go to school. He used to pick me up in the mornings, take me to school. You know, we got really cool, close. So one day, it was a weekend. He's like, yo, I'm going to go to South Beach to go do promotions with my boy Eddie Gigs. And I'm like, what is that? Like, what do you guys do? No, we just go over there and, you know, like, do promo stuff. Like, we don't, you know, pass out flyers. And I was like, fuck it. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I don't know nobody in town. So fuck it. I was like, let me go. Let's go. And I started meeting people like that. So then I went out there. We started doing. So that's how everything started for me. I met Eddie. And then Eddie at that time, him and DJ EFN and the Crazy Hood Camp, they were already doing stuff. They were already like dealing with all these labels. Like at one point, they had every single record label under them. Like they were like the head street team for Miami for every label you could think of. So I started doing promotions like I told you before. That shit died. And I'm like, now what the fuck I'm gonna do? I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, you know, I don't like, what do I do now that still keeps me involved in this and to continue? And then I remember my boy Drain, Drain Flicks. He's like the photographer for Drink Champs.
Okay.
He's a very talented person. He can sing, he can rap, he can do all types of shit. So he used to be in the studio back in the days, and I used to walk in the room and watch him produce on the MPC, on the piano, and that's what caught my attention. I'm like, damn, I want to do music. Like I always liked music, but I didn't know what I was gonna do. So that he inspired me. Then I asked another producer friend. I'm like, yo, how can I get the program? He's like, here, I have a copy. Boom, gives me the copy, and then I threw it in my computer, and then I just started like working on it little by little. Started with FL Studio, Fruity Loops. So then I'm like, fuck it, just hit it, boom, boom, boom. And then eventually I started like, you know, the shits were coming out good. Like people were like, yo, you did that, you did that. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm just showing you just to see what people are gonna say, but I didn't think of anything, you know. But then once I saw that people were like that, all right, cool. So at one point I was showing Nori some beats, and there was a point where he wanted to kind of like sign me to his company. But I already came in with EFN's company. So I'm a loyal dude, you know, so I'm always gonna ride with the people that put me on. Like if it wasn't for Crazy Head, I wouldn't be there talking to Nori, you know, and through the relationship that he's got with EFN. So that's how I got in that circle. And then with him, I just met all tons of people. These young guys don't do what I had to go through. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that the groundwork that I had to put in to really get to this point. Like it wasn't that because I knew him and he put me on, and then all of a sudden I became who I became. Nah, it was through work. You know what I'm saying? Working, bro.
Listen though, what I'm gonna do now, real quick, we're gonna do the get sliced up portion. We don't got pizza, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna actually do what's called the Fast Five. So the instant Fast Five delivery. So I'm asking you 5 questions and you just answer them real quick, whatever comes to your mind. Are you ready for this? Black or blue?
Black.
Black. Football or basketball?
Basketball.
Basketball. Drake or J.Cole?
Damn.
Who you got?
I mean, they both dope, man.
J.Cole with that last album though.
Oh no, yeah, but remember, Drake still hasn't dropped this album, so we don't know what's coming.
This is true.
And you know, and then the reason why I say that because I don't want to sound crazy. He's a fan of Drink Champs, and he's coming to Drink Champs. J.Cole. He's a dope artist, but we don't know when he's gonna come. Drake already said he's coming.
Right, all right.
I'll probably go with Drake.
I'll keep you off that answer right there. TikTok or Facebook?
Facebook.
And last one, and this one's gonna have a Y to the end of it. Biggie or Tupac, and why?
I want to say Biggie. Because like I told you,
talk to me from a producer mindset, not even a fan.
Oh, okay, bro, because the productions, and I met some of those guys that produce some of those records, those big records. I got the privilege to meet those guys because you know I told you I'm good friends with Capone and Noriega. Those are my brothers, so. They worked almost with the same producers, you know, that Biggie back then, you know. I think, but Tupac was dope too, man. But you know, I was more into Biggie because I knew like New York guys, you know, before anything. Wow, bro. So you're in the coldest of the coldest.
Coldest of the coldest, man. And there's no.
That's crazy.
Like, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a taste about here, right? Because this is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be giving a international outlook over here, right? In Europe, but I'm talking out of the country of Finland. If you're a child, right? You're a child here in this country. When you grow up, you're gonna be able to go to school for free. That's step 1.
Wow.
You get paid to go to school. They pay you.
You get paid to go to school?
That's what I'm saying. If I'm going to university, look how they do it. They say, hey, listen, the semester or whatever, the schooling, literally from all 4 years that you do, they might say that might be like 10, 15,000, 20,000, right? But what they say is, hey, if you can, you know, complete it quicker, or if you can complete, because you have up to, I think, like 5 or 6 years or something like that. If you can complete it within those 4 years, you actually can get money back, right? They cover your living expenses and a little bit of your food. So you'll have an apartment already as you're about to go to college, right? You get paid to study. If you can't, let's say you're not studying right now, you don't know what you do, you get paid for unemployment.
That's crazy, man.
So the difference is America has obviously our food stamp, you know, situation, our unemployment.
Yeah.
But America, that's an embarrassment, right? You don't want to talk about that if that's your situation. In Finland, that's like common. Yeah, you know, when I was probably around 23, 24, I didn't know what I want. Listen to the age I just told you, 23, 24, right? In America, to be 23, 24, and you ain't working or doing something, we questioning you as a person. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you telling me? Right.
There's people here that are 23, 24 that are like, I don't know what I want to do yet. Maybe I'll go to school at 23, 24.
Wow.
You have to try to be homeless in this country. It's almost illegal because they take care of you. So if you try
right. Wow, That would be it would be nice. Imagine if the US had that.
You get paid money.
With all the money that they make too.
Listen, bro, you get paid for recycling shit. If you pick up bottles and you go through, there's a dude that makes like 500 euros a month just recycling. Bro, shit's crazy.
That's crazy.
I mean, because like the purpose you have, I admire, because there's many ways, and I say this with love, and I say this in the sense of because I might get backlash, but my mentality is I want to give back to people that are willing to take the steps like you saying. Because the problem is that there's all these gimme people that won't do it. I'm not,
they want to get put on this, that, and I'm like,
exactly. But I'm not saying I expect you to give back to me, but I'm saying if I'm gonna give you my time or this, then the same exact steps. And people feel like you said, like you just supposed to give it to them, and they supposed to just fly off into the sun. It don't work that way. You know what I mean?
No.
I think that's the biggest problem sometimes is everybody thinking, including, man, even what I'm doing, like that was real hard coming here to a different country, and you gotta change your whole, like you doing what you do.
Like how many years did it took you for you to be like comfortable, and now you live in
I'm only here. I'm going on my 2nd year here, and the most difficult thing, man, is like this is another conversation, another time. That's why I said you gotta come back. But I made these videos and stuff because I'm like living in a country where even though they can speak English, it's almost like living in the Matrix, because when you're talking with people, everybody is almost like sometimes like a character, because like, for instance, it's kind of weird to explain, but when you speak to somebody in another country that speaks English and their first language isn't English, sometimes where they learned it from. Like if you go to Japan and you hear a girl talk like a Valley girl, you're like, what the fuck shows you been watching? Kim Kardashian or some shit? You know what I mean? Right. It's like that. So it's weird because then when you meet people, you know what I mean? Like I have to be honest. Like I love what I am. I love who I am. I love that I'm black, all these different things. At the end of the day, my choice was that I decided hey, I like to speak in the sense of a linguistical way. I like to sound educated when I speak. That's how I carry myself. It just is how
man.
But when I go places, it is the same in America, but even here, it's funny when somebody from the UK or something approaches you. What's up, fam? How you doing, cuz? And I'm like, nah. You know what I mean? I'm like, I know that's not how y'all talk. You know what I mean? So sometimes
because they copy it, they follow up what everybody else is doing.
Exactly.
That's another thing. We're not trying to follow people. We're trying to like lead people to, not follow, man.
Even now, I was talking about her the other day. I said one of my biggest issues sometimes with that is that the rap culture is a beautiful thing. What rap has done is crazy how it's transcended all music types, right? It's transcended into every music type. But the negative of that, when you find yourself as even more of what I could call what is the word I'm looking for? When you're a small, like a minority, right?
Right.
You start to realize even more, because when I'm here, it's crazy that like in the States, it might be cool, but when you live somewhere else and people's perception of your culture is only rap music, you must play a sport, illiteracy. So they only connect with me that I should be talking like, yeah, cuz dog, da-da-da-da. And it's like, that's how you connect me as being illiterate. Even though we think it's dope because where we from, we know where it's from. But
they get it from that.
It feel good to be,
it's like how it's almost the same thing when when I first came to the US and I used to listen to rap music. All these artists will say the N-word a lot. Yo, my nigga. So me hearing that, I'm thinking it's cool to say the N-word, but it's not. But it's not, because it's not like I used to say it a lot because it was the few words that I knew how to say it in English, So to me, kind of like to fill a sentence, I would have to throw in that, yo, my brother, or whatever it is. But yeah, I learned to kind of stop saying the word because they like Nori says all the time with us. So yeah, I'm gonna stop saying the N-word, but he still says it. It's because you're used to something that has always been safe for years, bro. Almost 2-3 decades, you know, of the same dudes, you know, every rap. Yeah, my brother, like, so it gets stuck to you.
Man, I'm gonna close up now, man. I really, once again, appreciate you so much for coming on the podcast.
No, yeah, man. Thank you as well for the invitation, you know, for having me, bro. And like I said, we'll stay connected. Whatever, you know, you need me to do for you, I got you. And then, yeah, man. And then whatever you're ready to put out, whatever, you know, the conversation or whatever, just send over everything. So like that, we can help you promote.
Of course.
Only not only the show, but your product as well.
Of course, man. It's coming your way. I'll make sure to send you everything before I post it, just so you can give it.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, for sure, my G. You already know, and thank you, man. And it was a good conversation.
100%, man. You have a great day, man. Be blessed.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. Same to you.
Used to be broke, shopping at La Rente, La Rente. Now whenever I want, I go cop me some Fendi. When you getting money, the fake gon' act friendly. I'm just tryna put my abuela in a Bentley. When it comes to getting money, bitch, I need plenty.